Well, it's that time again, ladies and gentlemen, for the Political Pulpit. I'm your host, Josh Navarrete, and it's so good to be right here back on the program, this time going live this Tuesday afternoon. There's a lot going on today. President Donald Trump is in Saudi Arabia accepting awards, signing executive orders, making trade deals, doing all the things that we all voted for. Let's get into that, and there's a whole lot of other things happening in the world, and we're going to jump right into it as soon as we come right back.
We pray for love and unity, and that the church would find new zeal and commitment to the mission and purpose of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ.
You're a liar! You're a liar!
Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart.
All right, we are back. It's the Political Pulpit. I'm your host. We've been going live in different forms in the past week. We were traveling, so it was difficult to get to the studio, but we have made a way. Let's just say God has made a way because he's blessed us in so many different ways. And thanks to all of our partners who've believed in us, believed in the Political Pulpit and our mission and our vision and everything we're trying to do, and you've made it happen. So thank you to all our partners. Now, to all those that are interested and curious, go to www.politicalpulpit.com/partner, and you can dive right in and help us get the message out, get the word out, get things going and moving again for us. This helps us get the technology that we need to make things continue on and break through, break forth, and also allows us to do ministry in a different way. We're doing ministry through media and through what happens throughout the world in our nation from a biblical worldview, and it's been a blessing. It's been a tremendous ride. We're going to be coming up on a year in a few months, well, maybe in October-ish, it'll be about a year, and we're praying for big things to continue to happen. In the last 2 weeks, we were at the White House. We are on a prayer call with Dr. Ben Carson. There's other great things happening in the coming future. There's Faith and Freedom Conference coming up. There's some partnerships with Turning Point Faith that we're doing with the pastors and all those things. So many great things are happening. And of course, the ministry here at home in Mesa, Arizona, Redeemer Apostolic Church. We couldn't be more grateful for all of our Redeemer family. Our church family has been the most supportive, the most involved in prayer and support and just doing all the things to help us do ministry through media is really what it is. And so we're grateful for all of you. But so today, let's get into it. There's been a lot going on. There's probably a lot of news that we couldn't cover within the next 30, 40 minutes. We're probably going to hit close to an hour today. So bear with us while you're watching. Don't be afraid to comment on what you see and what you're hearing. Let us know if there's something that you want us to cover. We're happy to do that. Send us the clip. We are hoping to get you all involved. Maybe we'll do a chat line part of the show, or a rapid fire to the show, and share some of what you guys are seeing, so that way we don't miss anything. Besides, this is a partnership. We're doing this together, and we're doing this with our brothers and sisters in Christ. And maybe you just ran into our channels and you're now joining. And if you're subscribed to us, thank you. But if you're watching and you haven't subscribed, please do it. YouTube, you can subscribe and hit that notification bell. You can find us on Parler, X, and Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all the things. We're excited to be here. All right, let's get into the first clip. I'm going to call out Destiny's name a few times as she produces the show. And of course, Selah is behind the helm as well, but Destiny's running our clips. So let's get to the first clip. I can't remember which one I queued up, but why don't you go ahead and show it, and we'll go from there.
Prices will come down almost immediately. What is the timetable for these price cuts?
Well, there's a series of escalating steps, but you know what? That will bring them down to European levels. Right now, America provides 75% of the pharmaceutical revenues in the world. And we only have 4.2% of the world's population.
Sure.
We're paying in our country, the list price for Ozempic is $1,300 per dose. In London, it's $88. And Democratic and Republican politicians have been talking about for years, we got to end these discrepancies. Nobody has had the courage to do it because of the power of the pharmaceutical lobby on Capitol Hill.
Okay.
In answer to your question, how soon will this happen? It depends on how enthusiastically the drug companies cooperate. There are a series of escalating steps that we will take if they don't cooperate. But we're we've been meeting with the pharmaceutical companies. They admit that this is something that should have ended a long time ago. And I think they're ready to figure out a way to get there. And they have advantages in this executive order, Stuart.
Okay.
Because we got rid of the PBMs. We got rid of the middlemen. And that's something that they've wanted themselves.
So getting rid of the middlemen is probably good in all scenarios, right? Even in different types of business, but especially in the pharmaceutical industry, who is basically taking advantage of Americans, American taxpayers, American consumers. And we've seen this for a long time. Most of our production, so it says here, Secretary Kennedy's post says America provides 74% of pharmaceutical revenues, and we only get 4.2% of the world's, we only have 4.2% of the world's population. That means we are being heavily taxed, or we spend the most on pharmaceuticals. One, America's sick, but two, they cost the most here in the United States because of the middlemen and because of the price hikes from insurance companies and the pharmaceutical companies, all in the pockets of politicians. And I think that this is going to make a lot of people uneasy that are in the chambers of Congress and Senate, and this is why they're extremely upset at this administration. This is why there's a lot of uproar and complaining. And if you watch the news, there's, they're up in arms, like, how could they do this? And none of it makes, what drives me crazy is like, it's as if you don't understand what the American people are saying, seeing, experiencing, and voting for, and you still try to change the narrative. And that's why your media outlets are failing. And time again, even when things seem to go the wrong way, or things get tough, like in the economy, the market had some dips and lows. Just this Monday, it shot up over the last week. Different markets excelled. Job reports were improved. There's gas prices are going down. Egg prices are going down, just like what we voted for. And finally, we're seeing something that we were all expecting, but it's happening a little bit sooner than we probably expected. I know that I was expecting a tough April and May and even into June. Things are turning around a little bit. As a matter of fact, I'm a little upset because I waited to get into certain markets and even some cryptos. I don't know if you guys are listening to XRP. XRP is doing really well. I don't give financial advice or trading advice. I'm just saying, man, I missed out on a few things, and it's never too late to get in. So if you can get in now, even if it takes a dip, it'll come right back up. So the next one says, Democrats coming out hard against no tax on tips. Hillary Clinton saying on this post, we don't have to show it unless you want to, says, all you need to know about the Republican tax plan, the wealthiest 5% would get tax breaks. Everyone else would see crucial healthcare and nutrition assistance programs slashed. Call your reps. Not true. I had a conversation the other day with somebody that was extremely upset because they think that this administration is destroying democracy and going to get rid of Medicare and Medicaid and slash the programs and make it hard for the elderly to get health care. Totally wrong. Absolutely ridiculous. That's what the media wants you to think. I think these programs need to be reviewed and looked at for people that are taking advantage of the system. That's really what it's all about. And so if you can work and you can get a job and you can take care of yourself, then you should be able to do so and not take advantage of these programs that are meant to help people that can't do those things. Okay, so the next one is, so this has been a big conversation in the last few weeks, was MS-13 and the cartel. They were the left and the liberal crazies were so upset that they deported what they want to call a Maryland man who is actually from El Salvador and part of MS-13. He had MS-13 tattooed on his hand. And now they're not saying anything because some video came out that he was when he got pulled over, he had people in his car that he was trafficking, I guess, or transporting from a different country, and he didn't have a license and all those things. So there's this one. This is a different one. It says breaking: cartel leader J3 captured. This is a big deal, I guess. I don't even know. I have no idea who he is, but apparently it's a big deal. It says Nogales, Sonora, Mexico. Dual U.S. and Mexican national Juan Jose Jacob Rigaldo, also LJ3, arrested over the weekend by the ICE Homeland Security Investigations vetted until unit, TCIU, within the Fiscalía General de la República. My Spanish is not my strong point right now. Sorry, guys. He was the leader of the Los Demonios. Nice. The demons. Okay. Good. I hope there's nobody on the left saying, what? Why did you arrest him? He needs due process. Anyway. A violent faction of the Sinaloa cartel responsible for hundreds of homicides and smuggling drugs across the U.S. border. He's a third member of the leadership ranks of Los Demonios, arrested in the last month thanks to the government of Mexico and ICE HSI collaboration. So we're working with Mexico, and that is great news. The arrest represents another significant win in joint U.S.-Mexico efforts to dismantle violent cartels, keep the border secure, and protect our communities. Time to get these guys off the streets. Fentanyl is killing American children, families, ripping them apart, and it's as if America wasn't already sick, and now we got drugs that are killing people, and it's absolutely horrible, horrible, horrible. And it's got to stop at the border. And I said this the other day to somebody, and they're like, yeah, but drugs have always been a part of that. Doesn't have to be that way. We need to clean house from, whether it be politicians, movie stars, rock stars, whoever they are, that is part of these cartel. I don't know. I mean, there's stories and documentaries about people interweaved with these cartels because they're powerful people. It all needs to stop. And just thank God for what's happening in our country now. It looks like we're going in the right direction, stopping all of these things. Okay, so the next post I have says, POTUS just signed an executive order modifying reciprocal tariff rates to reflect discussions with China. Here is the text of the order. I'll just read it to you guys. Well, actually, I'm not going to read it to you. It's a long order. But the good news is it looks like we're making progress with China, which everybody thought, you can't go to war with China, you can't do trade war with China, blah, 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 blah. Anyways, let's go back to drugs. I think you guys have that Dr. Oz clip, executive order on drug pricing matters to the American people. All right, let's go ahead and show it. Dr. Oz.
Getting a lot of calls about President Trump's powerful executive order insisting that the prices Americans pay for medications, pharmaceuticals, is the same as it is in other countries like the United States. Here's why it matters so much to me as a physician. About 2/3 of all bankruptcies are caused by medical illness. Think about that. All these Americans who are suffering financially, all the stress that goes with that, going bankrupt because they can't afford the medications they're taking. Even so, despite that, a lot of folks are still struggling to pull themselves up. They can't get there. And then they go to the doctors to get better care. And our Hippocratic Oath is to give you the best advice to make you healthy. But what's the trade-off if to get healthy you have to go bankrupt? About 1/3 of the time, people don't take their medications because they can't afford them. There's a fundamental fracture. This executive order for President Trump is about making sure all Americans get high-quality care because they can afford the medications that are being prescribed. Getting a lot of calls about President Trump.
Yeah, that's crazy. I didn't realize. I mean, I knew there's certain drug prices like diabetes medication that's extremely expensive, or EpiPens too. I think are ridiculously expensive. That's sad, man. I mean, it's time that this comes to an end, and thank God it's happening. Here's another one from Dr. Oz's account. We want to continue to drive innovation. We want our technology partners doing the best they can to create the best solutions. Having our allies pay a bit more, as they should be, is going to help us do this. Let's show that clip. They're showing a chart with RFK and Dr. Oz.
That means that we are paying in America 4 times more
than that drug costs in other countries. Again, 100% is the baseline. It's 289% above that baseline. It goes all the way down to when we're paying 50% more than any other country. That's the range. As was pointed out by President Trump, half the time we're paying 3 times more than is paid in other countries. It doesn't make any sense for the system. That stated, President Trump has over and over again indicated, and Secretary Kennedy reflected as well, we want innovation. We want our technology partners doing the best they can to make the best solutions for drugs to cure as many people in America and around the world as possible. By getting our allies to pay a bit more, as they should be, and they should have for many years been doing, will course correct a problem that's gotten out of hand. And by doing that in a thoughtful, effective way, we're going to be able to get the pharmaceutical industry whole. Those jobs will still be here, will still be productive, will still be curing cancer and a slew of other ailments that plague humanity. America will still be the leader in this space, but we'll be paying the appropriate amount, the right-sized amount for those tasks.
Man, 3 times as much as other countries. No wonder President Trump for the last 30 years has been talking about how we're getting ripped off by so many other countries and other industries. And how could we go so long with it's as if our politicians didn't care about us, even the most vulnerable and the sick. And they just let prices go berserk, go crazy. Wages stay the same. Expensive cost of living has gone up. And I think, how could you be upset at the fact that President Donald Trump is lowering these prices and making life better for the American people? President Trump is in Qatar today, or Saudi Arabia, I should say, not Qatar. He landed in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. And here's the other thing. People are freaking out. I mean, they're so upset that President Donald Trump is accepting a gift to the United States. It's a $400 million jumbo jet that will operate as Air Force One because they can't figure out how to get the new one built within enough time. So they're giving him a gift. They're giving America a gift. Let's just say it that way. And it's about time. I mean, that's pretty awesome. And so why are they freaking out? Doesn't make any sense. In this clip, it looks like they're landing. They landed. Let's show that clip. It's pretty cool. You can just do a side-by-side while I talk. I don't know if that's the new one or that's the old one, but there it is. He landed. Looks cool. A really cool shot is the next one where the F-15s, the Saudi F-15s, are providing honorary escort for Air Force One. That one's super cool. Let me see if you guys have that. Put that up real quick. It's the next one up. He's got, it's the fighter jets flying in the air. Okay, never mind. We'll keep going. Oh, there it is. Nice little escort from the Saudi F-15. That's pretty awesome. I saw one clip where they were zooming in and you could see the pilots just staring at the plane or staring at the windows, trying to catch a peep. I'm sure that's just the way they fly, but it's pretty awesome. Okay, so Secretary Scott Bessent touts President Trump's agenda of trade, tax cuts, and deregulation. I've always talked about this. Deregulation is so important because we're overregulated in so many industries and so many areas that it makes it difficult to get things done and then makes things overpriced. He says we will no longer be talking about tax cuts. So once this bill becomes permanent, the big, beautiful bill, by the way, this will be the law of the land for the U.S. Let's take a look at what he's saying.
The Trump economic agenda really consists of 3 parts. Thus far, we have seen trade, which has gotten most of the publicity, and President Trump wants to reorder the U.S. engagement with other countries. And I will tell you that the tariffs, the non-tariff trade barriers, currency manipulation, and subsidies of labor and capital are coming down quickly. So I am optimistic that on trade, we could actually see more frictionless trade globally. The second part of the agenda, which is moving better than I would have expected, and as a newcomer to Washington, I would say that it was my highest level of anxiety, was the tax bill. The 2017 Tax Cuts and Jobs Act was not passed until December, just before Christmas of President Trump's first year. I believe that we will have it passed this summer, and we will make the 2017 Tax Cuts and Jobs Act permanent. We will add more features that are very friendly to capital. We're going to bring back 100% expensing. If you build a factory, in the U.S., you can expense it immediately. The equipment for that factory can be expensed in the first year, and we think that will be very powerful. That was the most powerful aspect of driving growth and jobs during President Trump's first term. And I believe that the permanence, so we will no longer be talking about tax cuts. Once this bill becomes permanent, this will be the law of the land for the U.S., and there will be great certainty on the tax side. And then the third side is deregulation. And I think really when I look at the kingdom, when I look at the U.S., the one thing I see is great optimism and a can-do attitude.
All right, so let's talk about the tax cuts a little bit. This is the stuff that the left is freaking out because they are saying that it's tax cuts for the rich and that the middle class, which is a vast group of people now. The middle class is actually shrinking. It's a lot of people are hurting financially, and most people are one paycheck away from disaster, unfortunately. But what they're saying is that the tax cuts that the president wants to pass and that they're working on in the summer will hurt middle class and only benefit the rich. Well, I remember Hillary Clinton always talking about trickle-down economics, but they want to raise taxes for you and I, and so if you haven't noticed, after 2017, the recession, especially going into the pandemic, the recession was, we were on the brink of a massive recession. There were some bills that passed, some economic things that passed that put a Band-Aid on it that didn't really solve any issues. You could tell because the gas prices went up. We didn't have any oil in our oil reserves. We were depleting. We were relying on other countries for energy. We were relying on other countries for manufacturing. We were relying on other countries for everything. The U.S. was becoming slowly dependent on other countries and getting charged the most than any other countries for goods and services and manufacturing. We were getting tariffed on goods and services sold. And so now we're flipping that narrative with the new tax cuts. The new big, beautiful bill should put more money in your pockets and my pockets. No tax on tips, no tax on overtime. We're cutting regulations for new manufacturers. A lot of these companies can't come into the U.S. because it's overregulated. You can't get anything done because there's hoops and all these obstacles to try to get things done. We're lifting all those things, excuse me, so that it can all happen in a timely manner. And that way jobs start ramping up in the United States and your town and our town and whoever's town it is, and there's more jobs, more wages, more opportunity for more income. And so it all generates a new economy for the United States, basically the way that we were established in the first place. We were leaders in manufacturing. We were leaders in coal and fracking and drilling. We have the most oil. We have the most precious metals. This land is very, very rich. God has blessed the United States of America. We need to tap into that and utilize that. You guys can go ahead and show the clip where President Donald Trump is greeted by the Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman in Saudi Arabia. He's walking down the steps there. Right. He made it. He made it just fine. He's walking down them steps smooth. They're pretty steep too. That's pretty awesome. All right, let's go to the next one. It looks like POTUS's first event is a quick welcome inside the Royal Terminal at King Khalid International Airport, where he is joined by Secretary Rubio, Howard Lutnick, and Secretary Wright. Let's take a look. They're inside the Royal Terminal there. Pretty awesome. All right. Okay. So moving on. There's a clip with there's Hostage Square in Tel Aviv. I hope this is a beacon of hope for everybody else, and thank God for President Trump. So President Trump, I don't know if you all know, but Eden Alexander was released today and welcomed home. I actually had the opportunity of meeting his parents in D.C. at the White House. President Donald Trump, during the National Day of Prayer, pointed to his parents and said that they were going to get him released very, very soon. And before you knew it, I mean, what are we, 2 weeks later? He has been released. I think this is a tremendous moment. Let's see, Special Envoy for Steve Witkoff. Okay, we don't need to show that clip, but let's show if you can show the Office of the Special Envoy to the Middle East. It's right here. Show those pictures if you can. All right, so I'll keep talking while they work on those. But anyway, it was a powerful moment. They looked, their spirits were up, so it's almost like they knew there was information that he was already, there it is. Okay, that's him right there. His parents, you can't see his dad to the far left. He's got his phone and with his legs crossed, but that's his father and his mother right there. And they are, I can't imagine the heartache and pain of hearing that your son was taken hostage by animals, by vicious, vicious people. And then, you know, almost over a year later, finding out he's safe and coming home, how happy they might be. They are, they're most likely so happy, of course. But the president took the time to stop his speech, acknowledge his parents, and let them know that he's coming home very, very soon. And again, it's promises made, promises kept. It's a tremendous, tremendous moment. I was there, actually a row behind me. During the ceremony, so it was a very, very powerful moment that I got to witness there. Okay, so there is a pretty cool moment. The beast pulls up to the Saudi Arabia royal court in Riyadh by horse. Take a look at that, President Trump, while he's in Saudi Arabia there. They have. Do you guys ever wonder how they get the beast there and all the vehicles? They must take like a. Yeah, there you go. That's pretty awesome. That's pretty cool. Something to note, though, while he's taking a trip out to Saudi Arabia, he was supposed to meet with Benjamin Netanyahu in Israel. There's some stuff going on. There's like rumblings going on that the president's not too happy with the Prime Minister of Israel. So we're going to keep an eye on that and see what's going on. I'm sure it's all going to get worked out. And of course, we are allies and supporters of Israel, but there are some weird things going on that we need to pay attention to. We've got a interview coming up very, very soon with Dave Robbins of End Time Ministries, who's going to probably walk us through that. They're also going to talk about how America fits in biblical prophecy, because many, many people say, and it's not obviously written in Scripture that America or the United States isn't written, but there are symbols and symbolic scriptures that we believe and that they believe is a representation of the United States of America. All right, let's keep it moving. So, Justin, April's inflation report came in below expectations for the third straight month. Grocery prices saw their largest decline in nearly 5 years. Gas prices fell for the third month in a row. I don't know if you guys have gas prices that are low in your area. Let us know, because they're still kind of high in Arizona, especially in the Mesa area, the Mesa Phoenix area. They're pretty high still. So we're hoping to see an improvement there. If our producers can let us know that they are on this clip with Fox Business. All right, let's play that clip.
Coming in a little bit lighter than expected. So we came in at 0.2% month over month. The street was looking for 0.3. So that's actually better than what the street thought was going to happen here. 2.3% is the headline number year over year. The street's estimate was 2.4. Yeah. So again, that's a lighter number than expected. 0.2% core month over month. The estimate was 0.3. Again, better than expected. Core year over year came in at 2.8%. That was actually in line. We're coming in a little.
All right, so we're coming in line, she says. It's gone down. The markets are up. Prices are going down. Gas prices fell. It looks like the NASDAQ is up 73%, or 73 points, 83 points, 12 points. That's all good. I mean, we're seeing some good stuff there. That's awesome. Okay, so the next one is from, let's see, another Fox News on the CPI report. It's a good number. Oil is down, eggs are down, food is down. We're seeing that that's reflected. So all that hysteria over tariffs is not showing up in these numbers. The tariff conversation freaked a lot of people out, but the economy is taking a turn in the right direction. Let's play that next clip.
No doubt about it. I mean, CPI up 0.2% is a good number. And Mark Tepper, right before the number came out, I mentioned oil is down, eggs are down, food is down. We're seeing that reflected. So all that hysteria over tariffs is not showing up in these numbers.
No, not at all.
There's no.
There we go. It's not showing up. Let's show the next one. It's the one right above that. Whenever you're ready.
Report on CPI is excellent, right? It's a year ago today, it was 1.2% higher than it is today. The president's deregulation, tax plans, and as well as just simply supply side made in America policy, which is what we're about, is driving supply side economics, frankly.
Yep.
And yes, it's going to be critical, Maria, that all members get on board with a winning plan of the president's, not worry about one component when there's 50 to be concerned with, and we get this done, and we truly can have a golden era of manufacturing and development for the U.S. economy.
Absolutely.
All right. Made American policy. You couldn't be more happy to hear that, right? Made in America policy. And it's going to take, we thought it was going to take a long time, but it's happening right now. We're living in it. If we could just get through this part of the year, I think we're going to see some great and amazing things happen. Trump effect is inflation eased to a 4-year low in April as Trump tariffs took effect, CPI reports show. There's a post here that says gas is down 11%, fuel and oil is down negative 9% or 9%, airfare is down 7%, propane, kerosene, and firewood 5%. Public transportation, 5.6, energy, 3.7, major appliances, 3.6, fresh veggies, 2.9, hotels, 2.3, car rentals, 2.1, and non-prescription drugs down 1%. That's non-prescription. I wonder what prescription drugs, it's like 50% at some point. They should have included that, but this was 6 hours ago, so hopefully that reflects soon. Okay, so let's see. We have the inflation report came in below expectations for the third straight month. We covered that already. And all right, let's show some love to blinkbed.com. We got that commercial queued up. You guys go to blinkbed.com and use promo code Pulpit24 for an exclusive 10% off. This mattress is made in America. We're not going to experience any tariff effects because it's made and manufactured here in America. Matter of fact, in my hometown in Arizona. We got some new products rolling out and some new ideas that we think you're going to love. And if you're sleeping on this mattress, you're getting a tremendous sleep and a lot of rest because it's like sleeping on a cloud. And it's the only mattress certified by the American Arthritis Foundation. All right, we'll be right back. Today's episode of the Political Pulpit is proudly sponsored by Blink Bed, the ultimate solution for a good night's sleep. As we navigate the complexities of politics and faith, it's crucial to rest well. Blink Bed offers a revolutionary mattress designed with your comfort in mind. Crafted with cutting-edge technology and the finest materials, it's a sleep experience like no other. Did you know that Blink Mattress is the only mattress certified by the American Arthritis Foundation? Say goodbye to restless nights and wake up rejuvenated, ready to face the day's challenges. Blink Bed is not just a mattress, it's an investment in your well-being. So visit www.blinkbed.com and use code PULPIT24 for an exclusive 20% discount. That's www.blinkbed.com, because a well-rested mind is a powerful mind. Blink Bed for a sleep experience as enlightened as your political insights. All right, thank you everybody at Blink Bed at blinkbed.com. Again, promo code Pulpit24 will get you a 10% discount on an already amazingly priced mattress. So by the way, most of these mattresses everywhere else cost like, $1,500 to $2,000. This is way below that, probably more than half than that. And it gets delivered right to your door, roll packed, put in a box, at your front door. Doesn't get any better than that. And then, of course, subscribe. Send the episode to your friends. If you're on Facebook, share it to your Facebook groups or your friends or whatever. Just hit that share button to all your friends. Help us get the word out. We would greatly appreciate it. And we are so grateful for our viewers, followers, and friends. All right, I'm going to show a couple more clips. We went through the news pretty quickly, but, it was a lot of good stuff today, and we couldn't be more happier than that. President Donald Trump is signing an executive order today while he's in Saudi Arabia. And let's take a look at that clip. I have one of those pens, by the way. I got it at the National Day of Prayer. It's pretty cool. It's like a marker, basically. All right. Well, let's speed through this a little bit. All right. President Trump has a All right. So let's get into that one really quick. It's basically a deal bringing over $600 billion in investment to the U.S. President Donald Trump is making money for the United States of America. Doesn't get any better than that. I think it's pretty awesome, pretty cool, and you might not like the guy, you don't like his rhetoric, but hey, it is what it is. So, can you guys have my screen? Are you able to show this? It's a picture of the president and the prince. Yeah, sorry, we got resizing my screen and all that. Go ahead and show that whenever you're ready. There it is. Pretty cool. Looking like a couple of dudes, couple of buddies. All right. Well, let's see what comes up of that. There's a lot to see what happens. He's on a Middle East trip. There's plenty to happen in the future. We will wait and see. Prayerfully, the president stays safe out there, because we know there's just a lot of challenges traveling the world, as you can tell. As a matter of fact, President Donald Trump went to a big, conference there, and it's huge, and he gets a standing ovation from everybody. Let's take a look at this clip. I'm going to go full screen really quick and press play. So here we go. Look at that place. Could you guys hear the audio there? Sorry. Oh, I'm not sure. Yeah, okay. Not really sure why the audio wasn't working. But anyways, yeah, he was there at the conference, and it's pretty awesome to see him make deals with more countries. 600 billion people are $600 billion investment into the country, and a lot more to come. All right, we're going to come back tomorrow for another live show of the Political Pulpit. Remember to like and share, follow, join us for all of the different things that are happening in the world from a biblical worldview. We have to keep our eyes on what's happening in the Middle East with Israel, with Russia and Ukraine. So maybe some of that stuff we'll cover tomorrow afternoon. But man, just thank you guys so much. Thank you for following us and for sharing us and for being a part of the Political Pulpit. We're so grateful for you all. But we will see you all next time right here on the Political Pulpit. Signing off. Thank you, everybody. God bless.